Hi, Lori here from Costa Rica with a quick Chapter 10. First of all, we're going to talk about employee motivation. And employee motivation is important because it leads to productivity, performance, and loyalty. The best way to do that is to engage your employees, and engagement is defined as the level of motivation. It'd be good if you could see that. Level of motivation, passion, and commitment. And if you can increase engagement, everybody is happier, including the company. Let's talk first about rewards. Two types. We've got extrinsic rewards. You can remember those with the 3 P's: pay, promotion, and praise. There are also intrinsic rewards. A little hard to see that in this light, but that's your personal satisfaction and pride in your work, and you need to do a combination of both in order to optimize employee engagement. We're going to talk a little bit about the theorists that first investigated employee motivation. The first one is Taylor, and he was the father of scientific management. You'll remember him as the person who did the time motion studies. He considered men to be machines and that pay was the only thing that mattered to workers. Then along came Mayo, and Mayo did research that indicated that human-based management mattered and that it was more important to also address the psychological needs of workers and that men weren't machines. On the psychological needs of workers, we have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and at the very bottom you'll see we have physiological, then safety, then social, then esteem, then self-actualization. That's the top one. And it's important that you meet the needs of the employee that are not being met, and for some people that will be physiological, and for others it will be esteem related, and we'll try and do an exercise on this one in class. We also have Hertzberg, and he divided factors into 2 categories: hygiene factors or maintenance factors, and these are necessary for workers but not sufficient to motivate higher productivity and higher performance, and so you also need to engage them with the motivator factors. Another management theory, this is more management theories, this is McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y. Theory X is all about rules, constant monitoring, and punishment, because it assumes that people don't want to work and you need to make them work. Theory Y lets people do it their way to achieve a common goal, and it assumes that people do want to work. Theory X, which is, Theory Z, which is Ouchies, is a mix of Japanese and American, and we can take a look at that during class, try and understand the difference between the two of those and the combination that makes Theory Z. In either case, in every case, you want to match your management style to the situation. We have some more theories to go over. We've got goal setting theory. Your goals need to be ambitious but attainable. Management by objective. This was Peter Drucker. And you need to jointly set your objectives, and then workers will work hard to achieve them. But this whole management by objective and goal setting does not work unless you get employee buy-in. On expectancy theory, the idea is that the effort of the employee depends on their expectations, and the questions the employee is going to be asking is, can I do it? What do I get if I do? Is it worth the effort? Reinforcement theory uses 4 mechanisms: positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment, and extinction. And if you've ever worked with a 2-year-old, you know that you need to use all 4 of these to get them to do what you want them to do. We'll talk a little bit about that in class too. Equity theory, the question is it fair? Does the employee perceive it to be fair? And remember that this is hard to work with because everybody overestimates their own contribution. And so you often have people believing that they've contributed more even though they might not have on an objective standpoint. Next, we need to talk about turning that theory into action. And there are 3 ways we can do that. One is through job enrichment. Job enrichment can be achieved through job enlargement or through job rotation. Open communication, that requires listening, good questioning, 2-way communication, and management just absolutely needs to convey what matters. The third one is job recognition. This is very important. It doesn't have to be pay or promotion. Praise works extremely well in job recognition. You need to personalize motivation. Everyone is different. The more individualized you can make your motivation, the better the result will be. We talked about, in the book, they talk about some differences, global differences, which is high context environments where you need to build the relationship before you can even start to talk about work, and low context situations where you dive right in and get to work. Americans tend to be low context. Koreans, Asians, Saudi Arabians tend to be high context. Generational, you have 4 generations in the workplace right now. The traditional generation, and they were born prior to World War II. And the boomers were born right after World War II. Gen X is the middle generation, and the millennials, that's you guys. And they all have different characteristics. Although we need to remember these are just titles or names that are given to a whole generation of workers. Obviously there's differences within each generation, and every individual is different. And then finally, you need to create the right job and the right environment. So you need to ask yourself, there we go, am I giving my people the tools, the information, and the cooperation and support that they need to do the job? And that's what you, when you are a manager, are going to be doing, is making sure that they have those 3 things. That's it for Lori from Costa Rica. Hope you're having a great day. See you in class on Thursday.